Okay. So number of relations on a set having n elements is actually 2 to the power of n square. Okay. This is the number of relations. Next, we will see relation from a set to another set. Okay. Relation from a set capital A to a set capital B. What is that? This is a subset of what? A cross B. Okay. Take any subset of A cross B. It is a relation. Okay. From A to B. Okay. So here the order is important. From where to where. So the first set, the elements of the first coordinates will come from the first set. Second coordinates will come from the second set. So if a set, so how many relations can you define from a set having say n elements to a set having m elements? How many relations? If the sets A and B are finite, then the number of relations will be what? 2 to the power m into n. Okay. Because A cross B will have mn elements in that case. Okay. Right. So next, what is a function? Function is a special type of relation. Function is actually a special type of relation, which we will see. I have to spray for you. So relation, a function is a special type of a relation. So a function from a set capital A. So these are non-empty sets. From a set capital A to a set capital B is a relation. From A to B, satisfying certain conditions. Okay, what are those conditions? Satisfying. So there are two conditions here for satisfying the following. For each A inside capital A, or say let us write X inside A, there exists Y inside capital B such that so let us write this one as a function f. That is denoted by the symbol f. A function f from a set A to a set B is a relation from A to B satisfying the following. Okay. So what does it satisfy? It satisfies that for each element in the first set, there is an element in the second set. Okay. Such that they are related. X and Y are related. That means X comma Y belongs to what? X comma Y belongs to F. Okay. F is a subset of A cross B. F is already a relation. A function f from a set A to a set B is a relation from A to B which satisfies these conditions. Okay. For each x in A, we will get an element in Y and B. Okay. Such that x, y belongs to F. Okay. Right. Then number two, this y that comes here for this x has to be unique. Okay. X cannot be related to two different elements. Okay. So next condition is if xy1 and xy2 belongs to F, then what should happen? I told that the second element has to be unique. Okay. For each x, the second element has to be unique. So if we encounter a case where x is related to y1 and x is also related to y2, then what should happen? Y1 should be equal to y. Okay, because x cannot be related to two different elements. Okay. So if xy1 and xy2 belongs to f, then y1 should be equal to y2. Okay. So this is a detailed definition of a function. Okay. So in language, how we can say? In language, there is a simple way of saying. So a function from a set capital A to a set capital B is a rule that associates each element of capital A with a unique element of capital B. It's a unique element of capital B. This is the language. In form of language we write it this way. Okay. But the word rule here is confusing. That is why we need a rigorous definition. Okay. What do you mean by rule? Okay. So actually we are finding out, or we are associating each element of A to a unique element of capital A. Okay. So the same element of A cannot be associated with two different elements from A. Okay. Right. So let us see some examples of a function. Say I write this as A, say 1, 2, 3. Okay, and this one I write it as A, B, C, D. Okay, like this. A and B, they can have different elements, no problem. Okay. So suppose I take 1 to A. Okay, we take 1 to A, and I take suppose 2 to A, and I take 3 to B. Is it a function? Yes or no? So how to check it is a function? We have to first check that each element of A has been associated with some element inside B. Okay. So 1 has been associated with A, no problem. 2 has been associated with A. 3 has been associated with B. Okay, no problem so far. Next I have to check whether a single element has been associated to two different elements or not. Okay. So here 1 is associated with only A. Okay. 2 is associated with only B, only A. 3 is associated with only B. Okay. So the same element is not being associated to two different elements. Okay. So it's a function. If it is something like this, 1 is associated with A, 1 is also associated with C. Okay. In that case, this is not a function. Okay. Because the same element is 1A also belongs to F, 1C is also inside F. Okay. So in that case, it is not a function. Sure. So this is a function. This is one example. This is a function. Okay. So in diagram we write it this way. In diagram we write it this. Say suppose this is the function f. Okay. So under this function what happens? F of 1. So we write this one as f of 1. Xy belongs to f. This is written as y equal to f of x. Okay. So we write it this way. Written as y equal to f of x. So xy belongs to this function is written as y equal to f of x. Okay, and we say that this is written as this, and we say that y is the image, okay, image of x. Okay, y is the image of x under which function? Under the function f. Okay, this is how we write. So the elements on this side they are called images. Okay. So here A is an image of what? A is an image of 1 also. It is an image of A is the image of 1 also. A is the image of 2 also. Okay. So two different elements can have the same image. No problem for that. Okay. If there are different elements can have the same image. Okay. But the same element cannot have two different images. Okay. So y is the image of x under f, and x also has some some name. X is called pre-image. Okay. X is called a pre-image of Y. Okay, under F. Okay, so these are the names given. So whenever I have something like 1 is associating with A, so we write f of A equal to 1. Okay, so here A is called the image of 1 and 1 is called a pre-image of A. Okay, so under this function we have f of 1 is A, f of 2 is also A, okay. F of 3 is D. Okay, D is the image of 3. Okay, so this is a function. So in form of relation, how I will write? I will write this one as f is 1 is related to A, okay. Then 2 is related to A and 3 is related to A. So this in terms of relation I write it this way. Okay, so function has different forms of representation. One is this diagram. The first set here is called domain. Okay, domain, and the second set is called codomain. Okay, this is the domain. This is the codomain. Okay, so here and the set of second elements is called the range. So here let us see. So for this function, this was one example. So for this function, domain is equal to A. Okay, this set 1, 2, 3. This is the domain of this function. Okay. The function is defined on this set. Okay. And B is the set codomain. B is the codomain of this function. Codomain is B. Okay. So B is the set A, B, C, and D. Okay. And what is the range of this function? Range of this function is, it is the collection of all fx such that x is in A. Okay. So what is the range? Tell me what is the range? No? So you have to collect all the images. Okay. So what are the images? F of 1 is A. Okay. So A is there in the range. Okay. F of 2 is A. So A already I have written. So no need to write again. F of 3 is D. So okay, only A and D are there in the range. Okay. In codomain everything is there, but only A and D are there in the range. Okay. So range is the set of second coordinates. Range is the set of second coordinates. Domain is the set of first coordinates of the function. Okay. Here. So suppose I write another one. So this one. Suppose 1 is given to 1, 2 is given to C. Okay. Is this a function? This is not a function. Why? Because the element 3 does not have any image. Okay. As per the definition of function, every element in the first set should have an image. Okay. So this is not a function. But to make it a function, I have to give some association. Okay. Then whether this is a function, say this is going here, this is going there, this is also not a function because 2 is going to A, 2 is also going to C. So that's not allowed. Okay. These are not functions. Okay. So if I write something like this, 2 goes to A, 3 also goes to A. Is it a function? Yes. All 3 go to the same element. That is also allowed. Okay. F of 1 is A, F of 2 is A, F of 3 is A. This is always allowed. Right, so such function is called a constant function. If the image of every element is same, okay, then the function is said to be a constant function. Okay. So let us see some more examples of functions. So try define all possible functions. All possible functions from the set A equal to, say the set is 1, 2, 3 to the set B equal to, say, AB. Try defining all possible functions. Okay, we have to define all the possible functions from this set to the other set, 1, 2, 3 to AB. Okay. So how will you list? I am saying you list it this way. Say F1. Say I give you one example. Say 1 is going to A, 2 is also going to A, 3 is also going to A. Okay. So this is one function. Under this function, everything goes to A. Okay. Then f of 2. Okay, like that. You define another function. Try. So you define all possible functions. Define all possible functions. How many? Better. Try one more. Only you got 8. We have got 8 functions. We have got 8. You cannot repeat the first element. Second element can be repeated. First element, first coordinate cannot be repeated. There will be exactly 8. Okay, exactly 8 functions are there. So what are those? Exactly 8. So we can list those. Okay, we can list those functions. There won't be more than 8. Okay, why we will see. It's a result of combinatorics. It's a very simple result. We have already done multiplication rule of combinatorics. Okay, we will see how it is applied to count the number of functions. So what are the values here? A was the set 1, 2, 3, and B is the set A, comma B. And you have to list all possible functions. So 1 already I had listed. 1 is related to A, 2 is related to A, 3 is related to A. Okay, so this is 1. Right? F of 2 is, you keep the first 2 elements fixed. Okay, and change the third image. Okay. 1A, 2A, 3B. F3 is, change this two. Okay, 1A, 2B, and 3A. This you can change. Okay. Keep 1A fixed. Okay. Keep 1A fixed. 1A is fixed. Now I am changing 2B, 3 to B. Okay. So it's AA, AB, BA, BB. Okay. Next, so with 1a, keeping 1a fixed, I have listed everything. There are no other possibilities. Okay. 2 is related to a, 3 is related to b. 2 is related to a, 3 is related to b. Okay. With 1a in the fixed position, there are only these possibilities. Okay. So listing the elements, this is also an art. Okay. You have to list it properly so that you don't get confused. Randomly list for confusion. Okay. What is the rule of listing? You keep changing the last two. Okay. Keep the others fixed. So for two elements, it's very easy. AA, AB, BA, BB. Okay. These are the possibilities. Okay. So you try to maintain that order. Okay. So I have kept that order in mind. AA, AB, BA, BB. Okay. That is what. So these are actually taught in your binary number system. Okay, in your school, if you have this computer paper, there also you will see this type of things are there. Okay. Suppose x and y take the values 0 and 1. So what are the possible values that x, y can take? X and y can together take. Both can be 0, or x is 0, y is 1, or x is 1, y is 0, or 1. These are the only possibilities. If there are three such variables which take values 0 and 1, only 0 and 1, then how many possibilities will be there? Total number of possibilities. X, y and z are variables which take only two values, 0 and 1. Okay. So what are the possible? How many possible values can be there of the ordered pair, ordered triplet x, y, z? How many? How many can be there? X can take two values. For each value of x, y can take two values. So 2 into 2. And for each value of x, y, z also can take two values. So it is 2 into 2 into 2, 8. Total there are 8 possibilities. So here also it's something similar. It's A. So if there are 8 possibilities, how will I write? Okay, keep the first one fixed and keep changing this one. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Tarpore start with 1, change the third one, and the other 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, and then okay. Ekdom next second. Okay, you don't have to think kunda age boise, kunda pore boise. Okay, just remember this 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, and then keep on changing the others. If there are 4, then also you can list. If there are 4, what will happen? How many how many ordered 4 tuples will be there? For this position, there are two options for this 2, for this 2. So how many? 16. Exactly 16. So 8 to amra paisi. All 8 will be with this. Okay, all will be zeros. The remaining will be with ones, and this portion will be just repeated. Okay. So you can list this thing very easily. Okay. So the same thing I have applied here. So A. Okay. A is fixed. Okay. Now I will fix B. 1B. B is fixed, and then change these things. 2A, 3A. Okay. Then F6. B is fixed. Then 2A, 2B. Sorry, 3B. Okay. F7 is 1B. Then 2B, and 3A. Okay, 3 goes to A. And the last one, F8 will be 1 related to B, 2 is related to B, and 3 related to B. Okay, so this is how we list. So there will not be any mistake. So if the first set has 3 elements and the second set has 2 elements, the number of functions is 8. Okay. But the listing is difficult if there are more number of elements. So we have to find a system to know the exact number of functions. So can we apply multiplication rule here? How can I apply multiplication rule to know the number of functions from A to B? Number of functions quite a bit. From A to B, how will you apply? So our question is how many functions can be defined. Can be defined from a set with three elements to a set with two elements. Okay. How many functions we can define? How many functions can we define? From a set having three elements to a set having two elements. Okay. So this becomes a problem of combinatorics now. Okay. How many? 8 we can define. So how we can write it? Say the set A has got say these elements x1, x2, x3. These are the elements of A. Okay. And the set B has got say the elements y1, y2. Only two elements. Okay. So defining a function is same as finding out or assigning some image to these elements. Okay. So x1, what are the possibilities for the image of x1? Image of x1 can be y1 or image of x1 can be y2. Okay. So for x1, for f of x1 we have two possibilities. Okay. For f of x2 we again have two possibilities. Okay. For f of x3 we have two possibilities. Okay. And for each possibility of f of x1 there are two possibilities of f of x2. Because there is no restriction. x2 can go to the same here. x1, if x1 goes to y1, x2 also can go to y1. No restriction. Okay. So for f of x1, so we write these things formally as x1 can be mapped. Okay. Finding an image is denoted by this word map. Okay. Function is also called a map. Another name for function is map. Okay, map. So x1 can be mapped. Okay, map means finding out an image. Okay, x1 can be mapped in two ways. Okay, two ways. And for each way of mapping x1, comma, the element x2 can be mapped. The element x2 can be mapped in how many ways? Two ways. Okay, in two ways. Right. Similarly, for each way of mapping x1 and x2, the third element can be again mapped in three ways, two ways. Okay. So we will write for each way of mapping x1 and x2, comma, the element x3 can be mapped in how many ways? Two ways. Okay. So by multiplication rule of counting, rule counting, number of functions is exactly equal to 2 multiplied with 2 multiplied with, there is 2 cube. So if the first set has got 3 elements and the second set has got 2 elements, the number of functions is actually 2 to the power 3. Now try the same logic to find how many functions can be defined from a set with say m elements to a set with n elements. Okay. Kunta to the power kunta hobo? N to the power. Yeah. Second one to the power first one. Okay. N to the power n. Okay. So you can write that. No? So just I will write the beginning part. So the diagram you can draw. This is x1, x2, x3 up to xm. Okay. And y1, y2, y3 up to yn. Okay. These are the elements of the function. Okay. I want to define some function from here to here. Okay. So we can write it this way, that each element of capital A can be mapped in n ways, okay, because there are n options available to us. x1, its image can be y1 or y2 or y3 or yn, n options, okay, n options are there. So each element of A can be mapped in n ways, and for each way of mapping an element, every other element can be mapped, okay? Or any other element can be mapped in n ways. Okay. So this is the thing. So here comes the multiplication. Okay. Each element of A can be mapped in n ways, and for each way of mapping one element, another element can also be mapped in n ways. Okay. So we can apply multiplication rule. Okay. So by multiplication rule, there are m elements in capital A. Okay. So by multiplication rule, the number of functions will be what? The number of functions will be exactly n multiplied with n. How many times? Exactly m times. So if n is multiplied m times, the answer is n to the power n. Okay. So this many functions can be defined from a set having m elements to a set having n elements. So tell me which one is greater, n to the power n is greater or 2 to the power n is greater? Which one is greater? For any positive integer n and n, which one will be greater? 2 to the power mn. 2 to the power mn gives you the total number of subsets of across B of a set having m elements. Cartesian product with a set having n elements, and n to the power m gives you the number of some subsets of across. Each function is also a relation. Each function is also a subset of across. This is the number of subsets. So n to the power n is always less than or equal to 2 to the power n. Okay. So see, using set theory, we have proved one problem of inequality. Okay. If it's an inequality problem, okay, we have used the concept of set theory and combinatorics. Okay. So given any positive integers n and m, n to the power n is always less than or equal to 2 to the power n. So this is the number of functions. Each function is a relation, but a relation may not be a function. Okay. So number of relations is more actually, okay, but number of functions is less. So this is actually a strict inequality, okay, because there are many other relations which we can. Always there are many relations, more relations than functions. Okay. So this is the thing. Okay, so suppose you have say 12 non-identical balloons, okay, or say 12 balloons of different colors, okay. Balloons of different colors, and so how many ways can you distribute it? How many ways can you distribute distribute the balloons to say 10 children. Okay. 10 children. In how many ways can you distribute 12 balloons to 10 children? देखो तो भाग distribute थोड़ा जाएगा 12 balloons of different colors. हाँ. Can you about that? Okay. So why not 12 P 10 or 12 C 20 C 20 C 8? The number of balloons. 20 to the power 12 or what? Which one is correct? 20 C8 or 10 to the power 12? 20 C8 why?
So 10 children are 10 children. The first children के x1 balloon दिलान x1 plus x2 dot 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 to x10 balloon दिलान equal to 12 plus
No. X1 is
21
X1 is the what is X1?
number
of balloons given to
first child.
the first child. Okay, the number of balloons given to the first child. This X2 is the number of balloons given to the second child. And X, how many children are there? 10. X10 is the number of balloons given to the
So
10th child. No?
21 C9.
21 C9. Okay, let us see. This is what. So total number of balloons will be 12.
So even the restriction line আছে একটা বাচ্চা নাও হতে পারে
No, there is no restriction. You may give all balloons to a single child. That is also okay. Okay. No such restrictions. So if we look at it that way, then
non-negative integers.
what is the number of solutions of non-negative integer solutions of this equation? So is it are these two equivalent? This and this is one way of looking. Another way of looking is this. Another way of looking is just the functions. Okay. So we have balloons of different colors. This. We have balloons of different, say B1, B2, up to B12. 12 balloons are there. And children are there. C1, C2 up to C10. Okay. So if I give the first balloon to C1, so it's like assigning f of B1 is C1. Okay. I can give two different balloons to the same child. Okay. So distributing balloons, and all the balloons have to be distributed. So distributing the balloons is same as constructing functions from the set of balloons to the set of children. Okay. This way also we can look at it. No? But try to think: is this is the distribution of balloons equivalent to constructing functions? No? Look at that. Suppose I give the balloon B2 to C2 and B3 to C3, and if I change the other B2 to C3 and B3 to C2, is it same or different? Giving B2 to C2 and B3 to C3, is it same as giving B2 to C3 and B3 to C2? Is it same or different? Let's go. Same or different? These are different, no? Because the balloons are of different colors. Why different? Because the balloons are of different colors. Okay. If the balloons are identical, then whether you give B2 to C2 or B2 to C3, it doesn't matter. Only the number matters. Okay. How many balloons you are giving? If all the balloons are identical, then what matters is the number of balloons. If the balloons are of different colors, what matters is the number of balloons as well as the color of the balloon. Okay. So that thing you have to consider here. So here, if we construct functions, in that case, the color is also taken care of. Okay. Suppose I am giving B2 and B3 to C2. So that means to the second child I am giving two balloons of different colors. Okay. So is the color being taken care of in this construction? That is what we have to identify. Okay, and then we can conclude that this and this are the same. Suppose let us consider one solution of this. One solution is, say I give two balloons to x1, that is the children 1. Everything else 0, and the last children I give last child I give 10 balloons. Okay. So how many ways are being counted in this? It means this is one solution of this equation, no? But this solution corresponds to how many ways of distributing balloons? Giving 2 balloons to the first child and 10 balloons to the.
There we are assuming that they are identical.
Yeah. If the balloons are identical, then this is only one way of distribution. Giving 2 balloons to first child and 10 balloons to the 10th child. But here, suppose there are so many colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. So giving 2 balloons to the first child, which color balloon I am giving? That is important. Okay. So actually this particular solution will be counted that many times. Has to be counted that many times. Okay. So there are so 2 balloons to this children. There are 12 colored balloons. Okay. So that has to be actually 12. The number of ways will be actually what? Selecting 2 balloons from here, no? Selecting, so 12 C2, 12 C2 number of ways at least. Okay. But for each way of giving 2 balloons, there are again 10 ways of giving the remaining 10 balloons. No? So 10 C10 actually, 10 C10. So 10 C10 is actually one way. Okay. So 12 C2. So this particular solution actually has to be counted 12 C2 times. Okay, because the number of the balloons are non-identical. Okay. So that is why that way will not work. Okay. Because I have given balloons of different colors. Okay. If all the balloons are identical, or say instead of balloons, it is very difficult to make balloons identical. Balloon to full hai. So in all probability, the balloons will be of different sizes. Okay. So usually balloons will be non-identical. So if I write something like suppose you have 12 say balls of say tennis balls of the same color. Okay. Means identical tennis balls. Okay. How many ways can you distribute them to the children? Okay. So since they are identical, giving any 2 balls to the first child out of those 12, it doesn't matter. Okay. The color, etc., size, this doesn't matter. Okay. So in that case, that will work. But for this case, what is happening? So if the balloons are identical, say 1, 1, 1, and C1, C2. In that case, if we do it by functions, it is incorrect. Okay? Because we are counting identical balloons distribution several times. Okay? That is not correct. So here, this thing is most important. In this type of question, is a different color, same color. That is important. Okay? Right? So since the balloons are of different color, distributing the balloons to 10 children is equivalent to finding out the number of functions from a set having 12 elements to a set having 10 elements. Okay. So what should be the answer? It should be, we have already done 10 to the power 12. Okay. Number of ways that you can distribute balloons to this. Okay, now let me just modify this. How many ways can you distribute balloons to the 10 children so that a fixed child doesn't get any balloons? Then how many ways will be there? A fixed child, suppose you don't like that child, you are distributing the balloons, you don't give any balloons to that particular child, then how many ways will be there? Then in that case it will be 9 to the power 10, because say a particular child Ci, this child will not have any pre-image. Okay. So actually we are constructing functions from a set having 12 elements to a set having 9 elements. Okay. In that case it is 9 to the power 12. Okay. Clear? Right? So that way we can think. But we will go to a very different problem. This problem, it seems very simple, but if we add another line here, okay, in that case the problem becomes very difficult. How many ways can you distribute balloons to 10 children so that each child gets at least one balloon? Okay, in that case the problem becomes very complicated. Okay, at least one balloon has to be given to each child. Okay, in that case it is not just the number of functions. Okay, what type of function it becomes in that case is. Okay, so let me reduce the number of What is the time? Huh? 5:27. So in that case, suppose my question is, suppose I have 3 balloons here. And I want to distribute it to suppose 2 children. Okay. So that each child gets at least one balloon. Okay. So is this a distribution in that case? No. This distribution is false. Not correct, not allowed. Because I am giving every balloon to the first child. This child is not getting any